All right, everyone. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
And welcome. Thank you all for coming to participate in and enjoy our program, our Memories of Bhauji. And before we get started, I want to let everyone know that we are making an audio recording of this. Some people in India, I think it was Dr. Ann, said she'd like to hear the story. So just be aware that the plan is, hopefully we get a good recording, and Charlie will edit and we'll put it up on YouTube. So if you are sharing your stories, you know, I just want you to be aware that we are planning to have it on YouTube. So if it's something more private that you don't want to don't want other people to see, then or, you know, outside here, then just be aware when you're sharing them. You know, that's the plan. So we're gonna, as I said in the Constant Codec announcement, we're gonna kick it off with Owrang here in a few minutes. I just wanted to let you know what's coming up the next couple of weeks because we have a lot of holiday festivities happening. Next week is our, you know, we have a big event we have every year, which is MeherBabaLibrary. And I'm not quite sure exactly what it's going to look like. But you know, usually there's a lot of food, and Lois is coordinating, so I can't tell you specifically what it's going to be, but I'm sure it will be a nice event. And I don't know, Freddie, if you're going to do your readings like you normally do or not for MeherBabaLibrary, but it's usually a fun event, and we welcome you all to come to that. And then the following week, we have a special program on Beloved Mera, celebrating the purest soul in the universe. So that should also be a really wonderful event. So that's the next couple weeks coming up. And then the end of the year, we've got a big party on New Year's Eve day. Okay. Not night, New Year's Eve during the day. So if you're planning to go to parties in the evening, this will not interfere. You can come to this during the day. We're going to have some wonderful catered food. You can come to this and enjoy the party, and hopefully we'll have some live music and some wonderful catered food. And then at night, whatever party you want to go to, you're still free to do that. So that's the next, that's basically the rest of December coming up here. So we're going to get started. We've got hopefully some, you know, I know we've got a few people we're going to share. I've also got a short video in the middle that I'd like to show of a talk Bhauji gave here. He was interviewed by Jeff Mcguire, where we talked about meeting Baba. So we'll get to that. Without further ado, we're going to kick it off with Owrang. Owrang.
Thank you. Jai Baba.
Thanks, Baba.
Okay, thank you for Codec for giving me the opportunity to share my experience regarding Bhauji. I just wanted to choose the best things I remember that are fitted to show everyone in the meeting. So what I thought was, I picked 6 emails and I chose 3 pictures to share with you. The first email that I'm going to read for you is the one that he said, "You are here with me," and that one goes, "You are here with me." Where is it? You are here with me. I'm sorry. You are here with me. Okay, here it is, and it's dated January 7th, 2013. He says, "My dearest Shahryar, Brother Owrang, received your loving email January 13th, and I'm happy your mind is clear and working in order. I cannot walk, otherwise I would have come to LA. But anyway, you are here with me because in this age, beloved Baba has given me made me responsible for all those who love him and have his contact through me. He is the ancient one, and he's always helped me he's made me the medium to show that. So at the present time, I am the medium, and I remain the medium for 100 years. After 100 years, no medium. In the 100 years, the medium is strong, and the medium suffers and suffers. I am the only one remaining as the medium. Jeho, jeho, jeho to you, Brother Rita, and parents and dear ones. For 100 years, I will be responsible for you all." That was the first one. The second one is laughing and pain regarding Jesus.
Now, it was Bhauji talking, his voice. He said, "For 100 years, I will be responsible."
Yes, for the next 100 years, he will be responsible.
Wow.
He's the medium for the next 100 years.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and yeah, that's interesting. The other email, the other one I'm reading with you is concerned laughing and no pain regarding Jesus. And this was dated March 12th of Tuesday, 2013. Jeho, Jeho, your email dated March 11th is very strong, but please don't extend my period. I know you want to extend my period. Now I am 88. How much longer should I bear in this eternal pain? Please, 1,008 times, please don't extend my period. There are the many who all pray for my extension. Last time, Baba gave me a 1-year extension. And now I don't want to extend it anymore. I went to Meherazad on the 7th of March. When I was eager to go to Baba's bedroom, on the doorway I fell down. My dearest Kandarabad and Amir just took me into the chair. At that time I felt severe pain, but after some time the pain subsided and I was looking fine. But then afterwards the pain started and it was incredible. At the time I was fine. I crossed the door without help. This happened when I visited Baba's bedroom. Now the pain has increased. When I came and laughed, but now outwards the pain is much more than inward. This is outward pain. So outward and inward both are terrible.
When was this? What was the date of this email?
March 12th, 2013, Tuesday.
2013.
Yeah. Okay. And but last year, the March 15th was the date I would have passed away. But he gave me 1-year extension because of his lovers who started weeping. But Baba gave me 1-year extension and he told me this. This is not my wish. This is my lover's wish. So you just put up with this wish. 1-year extension which expires on March 15th. I see that the lovers started weeping. I don't know whether it is March 15th I will pass away or not. According to the previous instructions of Baba, I'm telling one, on the 15th I'm passing away. Suppose I don't pass away. So they say. Last year you said that you were going to pass away. And years ago you said on March 15th. And I don't know what the reaction is, but they come weeping and weeping. And when they say to me, I just look good to them, no one knows the internal pain that I'm suffering. But now external is increased because of the fall of Meherazad. Anyway, my dearest brother Owrang and family, Baba, Dr. Dadi Nasri Namami, Jai Baba to you all. That's the second one. The third one is, I am very happy, do not worry, which was sent on June 6th, 2013. Okay.
June 6th, 2013.
Yeah. I'm very happy, do not worry. It was Thursday, June 6th, 2013. Okay. I am very happy to read emails on June 5th. I do not read it all. Mother C read it to me. And I am very happy. I don't worry. America is like this. Those who depend upon America are the fortunate ones. I just wanted to highlight that. Those who depend with all up to you. And then the other one is dated December 9, 2010. How much light is shining? December 10, 2000. Oh no, December 10, 2000. Sorry. 1 second. Don't worry. Yeah, how much light is shining? I received your loving email. This email means a lot to me, and it shows that there's some light shining, both inside and outside. How much light is shining? How much light is shining? I cannot say how much light is shining, but light is shining. Maybe one emperor. The light is bright. I can't see it with my open eyes. It appears that LA Center will come back in the original state, as it was working previously. On a deserted island, you feel you are wandering for days, eating fruit and fish and asking in what world to do. Then you find a bottle that has been brought ashore with a small message in it, small message from me in it. When you read the message, you find it filled with inspirational words of wisdom, hopes, strength, and courage. It appears as if the LA Center is coming back on its own feet. And gradually it will come back and laugh. And gradually it will come back and laugh. So you just tell them, don't worry, be happy. You go to the center regularly, go to the center just hear and sometimes speak. Don't fight with anyone and remain happy and cheerful. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and all the family and all Baba lovers. That was the fourth one. And the other one is, it's, okay, 1209. Okay, so that's that one. And then note, okay. This is a note that Bhauji mentioned regarding death. He said, this was sent on January 19th, 2012. Dear doctor, there is no need to come here. I promised you. There is no need to come here and see me when you are so old. Is addressed to my dad. I will survive. I don't know. Up until March, I had given a guaranteed and beloved Baba accepted. This much I know. But even as I pass away, don't worry about my life. Though I will die, but I will remain living in your heart. This is the greatest thing. If I give you my promise that I will be living in your hearts. Anyway, that's that one, and the other one is and then the last one is the experience I had with Bhau when he left at the airport on July 13, 2009. I want to show you this picture, and I will read it for you. Okay, go word out. That's the last picture I took from Bhau. You won't believe it, the experience I had regarding this. Everybody from LA and all wanted to go to see Bhauji leave. But you know what? No one made it there except me. I came from Orange County, and I was on the way for an hour and a half, and I made it there just in time to see him in the airport, getting on that, going down in the terminal and getting on the airplane. The most important thing is, look at that. Where did that baby come from? There was no baby over there. Look, the baby is saying hi too. Look at that. And he's raising his hands.
There was no baby in front of him?
No, there was no baby. Trust me, how could a baby be there? Think about that.
In the picture is the baby, but not looking real.
No, it was Bhauji leaving 1:30 in the afternoon. This was the section for the people who are handicapped. What is the baby doing there? Can you imagine that? Anyway, and you know what the thing about it is? The baby is raising her hand too. The baby is raising, look at that. Anyway, that was something that was unforgettable. But I wanted to go over this last email with you all, which is, thank you very much, which is something I wrote, and it was very dear to my heart. And this was the day when Bhauji passed, but no one knew about it. Nobody knew about it. Bhauji went home, where he belongs right to Baba. I always told Bhauji that you have a special place in my heart, and as a matter of fact, he showed me he is there by what happened this morning. This has never happened to me. I woke up 7 a.m. in the morning, went downstairs to look at, I took a look at Baba's picture from the dining room, and all of a sudden I started weeping and crying, and kept saying, oh my Father, please have mercy, please have mercy, please help me, please forgive me, please have mercy. On, and I kept crying. And then I recalled reading this email sent to me on October 20th, 10:45 a.m. It says, since Thursday, October 17th, Bhauji has been sleeping and has not opened his eyes. The doctors have said today that he is conscious and is not in a coma or semi-coma. So help me, Baba. I called my mother and told her that I was concerned about Bhauji. I never felt like this. And I asked her, have you heard about Bhauji's health? And she said, no, Bhauji is always in my heart. And when something like this happens, it took me away. And then I sent this email. I got this email from India about what happened to him today. I know Bhauji did not go anywhere. Bhauji is here now. Free at last. Free to be with the beloved God. Free from disillusion. As he always says, how do I look? And we would say, marvelous. Well, now I am sure he feels marvelous. Now that he is with Baba's side. I would say to Bhauji, Baba's the sun, you are his light. A reflection of his glory to man. I've never met another person like him in my life. My heart goes out to him and his family. That's it. Jai Baba. Thank you.
What day? That was that morning when you were crying. Is that the day that Bhauji passed away?
Yes. An email was sent to me on the 20th of October that, Bhauji is in a coma I'm sorry, Bhauji is not conscious, but he's alive. You know what I'm saying? His brain is functioning, but he's not alive. I'm sorry, he's unconscious, but he is alive. And then this is what happened. Anyway. Yeah.
When did you realize? You did, because you didn't know that he had dropped his body.
No. I got up 6 o'clock in the morning. Ask Mita. I ran downstairs, and I started, I don't know why in the world I've never done this before. I started going to Baba's picture, and I said, oh my Father, please have mercy. Please have mercy. Please have mercy. Please have mercy. And then I emailed my mom. I said, have you heard about Bhauji? I heard he's sick. Is he feeling better or what? And then I got an email saying, but Bhauji has passed away. Now, what do you call that? The one thing I'll never forget is when he left LA. I was going from Orange County. It took me 1 hour and a half to get to LAX, park the car, get out the parking lot, go in the airport, and I just see Bhauji as he's going in there. Look at that, man. That's an unforgettable picture. And you know what? That shows me he's always here with us. He's always here. He never left us. He's always here, but he's in our hearts. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Should I speak Farsi since most of the people are Farsi, or should I speak English?
You can do whatever you're comfortable.
Okay. Now, well, there's an English speaking people. Well, I'll say it both. My name is Simin Mohajerani. Most of you guys know me. I run a group called United in Love. And I started that group after being kicked out of many other groups because I'm too outspoken for many and too expressive. But that's the way Baba ordered me, and that's the way he loves me. So, with Baba's instruction, after losing 3 laptops and computer in my house with viruses being sent to me, I gave up as I was writing at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I went to lay down in bed, and Baba came and woke me up, said, what's the problem with you? Go start your own group. So within half an hour, on December 11, 2011, I started my own group, and the name just came to me right from Baba, United in Love. Many people ask me how come I don't have Baba's name on it. Baba is all about love, and it's all about uniting everybody in love. And Baba is love. So I feel that by naming my group that, I have left the door open to many people that know nothing about Baba, that when you mention his name, they say, oh, there's another cult, another group, and they just walk away. This way the door is open, they get to come in and they get to see what we're all about. We're all about truth and love. And if they choose to stay, they stay. There's no force. Nobody's here in business selling God. Baba has to be felt in hearts. Love has to be felt in hearts. And if you're not there to experience it, you won't. So we don't want to trap anybody. So that's why the name of the group is United in Love. I've been going to India since 2008. And so it's 10 years. And every year, right around this time, around MRTT, Baba calls me there to go there and sing and dance for him. Though I have felt him in my heart from the time I was born, I have always called him my best friend. And when he first revealed himself to me, I asked him, are you my friend? He said, yes, I am your childhood friend. So I have many experiences visiting Bhauji. And from the beginning, from the very first time that I saw him, and all the way to the last few months of his life. In his last year, I was there for 6 months. I was planning to become a resident. And I had a dream that I shared with Bhauji, and I said, I think Baba wants me to live here. And he said, well, that's good. Go talk to Meher. He'll help you find a place. And for some reason, every time I came this close to it, something would happen and it wouldn't work out. And that has been the story since 2012. And every year, when I go over there and I'm coming close to buying a place, something major happens to me. And so I know that Baba does not want me to live there. He just wants me to go, sort of like an East-West gathering kind of a thing. He's using me like a bridge because I was born in the East. I have a very, very expressive heart. I feel things, I see things, and I'm not shy about saying it like it is. I'm extremely direct, too direct for too many to handle. And Baba likes that about me. And we kind of like playmates. And if I tell you that I'm with Baba 24/7, I'm not exaggerating. We're with each other all the time. I don't have to go to India to be with Baba. I actually feel him more in my own house, in my own room. And but I do go over there because he calls me there. He wants me to share his love for him with everybody who's coming over there for Amar Titi by singing and dancing for him. So, the very first time that I saw Bhauji, it was my very first visit to India. I went there for 2 weeks. And it was with my mom and with my sister Susan, that you guys know. And my husband was going, whom I had divorced, but I was taking care of him after his cancer transplant. And I had just moved him close to UCLA so that he'd be close to his doctors, because I was driving him back and forth from Orange County, and I was exhausted. I had moved to Orange County to be close to my mom and to my sister in Orange County. And Susan kept on telling me, I know exactly what's wrong with you. You're like a fish out of the water. You come with me to India and you're going to be fine and stuff like that. And I was too busy. I had too many things and too many crises happening in my life that, you know. So when they were planning to go, I said, okay, I'll come. And 2 days before it, I had my ticket, everything, to go with my mom and with my sister. 2 days before it, I changed my mind. I said, I'm not coming. So I canceled my ticket. So the morning that they were leaving, my mom and my sister, I went to say goodbye, and I started bursting in crying. I said, you guys are leaving me here. I don't have anybody here. And Susan said, well, we told you to come with us. I said, well, okay, I'll come. And they're saying goodbye. They're going to the airport. So we contacted the travel agent. The ticket that I had going with them all the way to England, connecting with British Air, was already filled. I mean, that one was okay, but from London to Mumbai was full, so I had to get another flight. I remember it was with Jet Air, and I have never been to India, so I asked the agent, is this plane gonna land? I thought it's gonna be some kind of a, you know, I wasn't familiar with Indian airliners. Long story short, that's how I made it. And I landed in Mumbai an hour and a half before them. And my flight with Jet Air was like a first class, even though it was economy. And I was served like a royalty, and the plane was almost empty, and I landed there an hour and a half before my mom and my sister get there. So long story short, we made it to Meherabad, and I was just there for 10 days, you know, if you take off the flying time going back and forth. And the very first time I saw Bhauji with my mom and my sister in his room, I just entered there, and we just took one look at each other. The room was packed. There was no place to sit, so I just sat on the floor right by his feet. And he said, why are you sitting down there? I said, it's okay. He said, what? Find a stool, bring a stool, have her sit here. I said, no, it's okay, I'm fine. And he said, but you shouldn't sit on my feet. I said, it's okay. I feel like I'm in presence of love, and I just want to sit here and look at you. And that has been the case between my relationship with Bhauji. When we looked at each other's eyes, we saw love. When we looked at each other's eyes, we saw Baba. And we went and saw him a few more times. He saw my mother for the very first time, and my mother always says that he told me I'm his sister. She's very happy about it because he called her his sister, and little does she know, he called everybody his sister. So, but she has a special love for Baba too. And so this is just the beginning of the relationship I started building up with Baba. I made a little video here in memorial for Bhauji. And my experience that I had with him during the visits that I had over there. And I kind of tried to capture it in this video, sharing my memories with him, especially that 6 months that I was there. And Bhauji was as sharp as a razor blade. He was calm, quiet, smiled. A lot of people thought that he's not here, which he wasn't most of the time he was with him. But he was well aware of everything that was going on around him. But unfortunately, he wasn't being very much respected and treated with respect that he deserved during his past 6 months. And I was there, I saw it firsthand. As outspoken as I am, I would talk to him. Sometimes I would have private talks with him that, Bhauji, what is this? I mean, from the first time that I came here to now, which at that time was after 5 trips to India, that was in 2012. I said, Bhauji, Meherabad is not the same as it used to be. It used to be this little village full of love. I see so many differences. It's building up so fast. This village is turning into something else. People are different, the way they behave. And they say one thing, they do another. And so I would share what I would feel with him. And he said, it's okay. They can buy all Meherabad. They can start building it and turning into condominiums and do this and do that, but nobody can buy Baba. So don't worry about it. He named me Draupadi. I didn't know what Draupadi means, and they had to explain it to me. And Draupadi is supposed to be a female warrior during Krishna's time that fought for love. She supposedly was, at his time, at Krishna's time, you were supposed to be ugly in order to get married, to find a husband. You weren't supposed to be prettier than Krishna. Krishna was supposed to stand out. And Draupadi was a girl that supposedly was too verbal, too outspoken, too direct, said it like it is, was a warrior, and that's what he named me. Draupadi, a female warrior for love. And she was not bad looking. Because of that, she could never find a husband. So her father made a bet and playing game with the Pandava brothers, with their father, that if he loses, if he wins, his sons would marry, that Draupadi would become, they would marry Draupadi, something like that. So when supposedly he won, Draupadi went from not having any husband for having all 5 Pandava brothers as her husband. So this is the short story of the thing. I'm going to read this for you in case if it goes too fast and you won't be able to follow it. Bhauji's date was March 15th of 2013. And everybody was coming during that 6 months from all over to visit him. And they were rushing to see him, and he kept on asking everybody, how do I look? And people said, Bhauji, you look beautiful. He said, yeah, you see this body, but you don't know the pain I'm feeling. It's all because of you. I was crying and crying. I wanted to go. But Baba said I have to stay for 1 more year because of you. So stop crying. So he would ask me, what do you feel? What do you think? I said, Bhauji, I want you to go anytime you feel like it. Because I don't want you to suffer because of me loving you. So, and he said, see? That's what I want to hear. I'm here because you guys kept me here. I was supposed to go last year. So he constantly repeated that. I waited there. My ticket was coming back on March 15. I waited there until March 10, and I had to come back 2 weeks early because I realized that I miscalculated. And even if I would have stayed until the day that I was supposed to come back, I was 3 days short of 6 months. I didn't count the days that I was going to be in the air, so I came back 2 weeks early. So when I said goodbye to Bhauji, I said, Bhauji, he kept on saying, you're going to be here, right? I said, yes. Actually, I was there. I came back on 20th, because on New Year's Eve, Persian New Year's Eve, I was on the air. I waited for 5 more days after the 15th, and he would say, I said, Bhauji, you're joking. You're not going anywhere. So I have to go home, but make sure you stay here until I come back. And he passed away the following October. So, there was a song that Bhauji really liked, and every time, I would sing for him all the time, but this one song he really liked, and after I would sing it, he would say, see, this is how you sing. Because some people, when he would ask them in his room to sing, they would sing very quietly, or they would shy away, and you could hardly hear them. The minute he would tell me to sing, and I would start singing, see, that's how you sing. Because I kind of have a loud voice, don't require much of a microphone. So, this is Bhauji's favorite song.
What's the song called?
It's talking, hold on. It's kind of worshiping God. It says, Ey Meheman, oh my moon. Ey Botechin, oh you, how do you translate it? You, the Buddha of the China, my love. And it's just praising God, the whole song, and it's sang in Farsi.
Hello, I'm Jeff Mcguire. Welcome to the MeherBaba program, and our guest today is Bhau Kalchuri, visiting us from India. Bhau's made several visits to the United States and has traveled extensively throughout the world talking about MeherBaba. In addition to being a longtime disciple of MeherBaba's, Bhau is the author of many, many books, including a 20-volume biography of MeherBaba. He's also an acclaimed poet, has written hundreds of ghazals, which are devotional poems to God. And it's a pleasure to have you here today, Bhau. Welcome. Why don't we start by asking a little, you met MeherBaba when you were a college student in 1952?
Yes.
Was it, I believe?
1952.
And at that time, you didn't have all that. It's not like you'd been on a long spiritual search or anything. Can you tell us a little of what drew you to MeherBaba?
Of course, it is very difficult to explain because I did not know MeherBaba and I did not know anything about spirituality. I was not interested in spirituality because I did not know. And I was in college, and MeherBaba went to my place where I was studying in the university. So he himself went there, and just to see him, I went there, and it was an experience for me. When I saw him, I felt that I must join him. I must be with him. So
Had you heard of MeherBaba prior to his visit to the university?
Nothing about I did not hear, and he made preparation for me before he went there, internal, and I did not know. So one day I just got a thought that I am doing all these courses, chemistry and public administration and law, but I never thought what I would do afterwards. And this thought brought change in me. And then of course I was just thinking what to do now. So there was one tomb of a perfect pastor called Tajuddin Baba. I was not interested and I did not know, but my brother-in-law would come to Nagpur to pay a visit to his tomb every week.
I should say that in India, the tombs of saints and perfect masters are venerated, and people make pilgrimages to these tombs.
Yes, yes.
So your brother-in-law would go to this tomb of this perfect master.
Yes, he would go there, and because he knew that I was not interested, so he never asked me to go with him. But after this thought, when some change took place in me, he comes and he says that I am going there, I am all alone, will you come with me? And I said, I am not interested, you go. But he said, I am all alone, please come with me. So I went, and then of course in India, when you go to the tomb of the master, or if you see the master, then of course you always offer something, fruits and sweets and garlands. So he took everything. I did not take anything because I was not interested. When I went to the tomb, there was a big crowd and people were in a queue, in a line. They were going. My brother-in-law stood in a line and I stood in one place like this. And those people who were there, they did not like my attitude. They were thinking that I was very disrespectful to the master.
But you were just feeling nothing.
Nothing.
You weren't meaning to be disrespectful.
No, nothing. Just I was standing there, and when I looked at them, so I could understand that they did not like my attitude. So then I said, in order to please them, I must also stand. What is wrong in that? So I stood in a line, and when I entered the tomb, I never thought about it. But a voice came from my heart that if you are real, show me the way. And I came back. And afterwards, of course, I became restless. And so restless that I stopped going to the college. And my head of the department of public...
Excuse me, but this was before you saw Meher Baba?
Yes, okay. Before I saw Meher Baba. I did not know his name. So I stopped going to the college, and my head of the department, he loved me very much because I was a very regular student. So he came to see me and he asked me, why do you not come to college? I said, this has happened and my brother-in-law took me to the tomb of Tajuddin Baba. So of course I went there, and since that time I am feeling very restless. She said, I cannot help you in this, but I know one Swami in Rishikesh. There are so many ashrams and so many saints and so many Swamis.
So Rishikesh is a city in India that draws...
In Himalaya.
In the Himalayas, and it draws all of these saints and... And seekers.
And they've got many ashrams there. So I said, give me the address. So he gave me the address and I wrote a letter there. And then afterwards, I was feeling very, very restless. So then, of course, I went to the Gandhi ashram.
Mahatma Gandhi had an ashram in Rishikesh?
No, here in India, near in Maharashtra.
Oh, okay, in another part of India.
So I went there, but the atmosphere dry. I did not like that. So I came back. I went to the ashram of Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans. It is in Nagpur. So that Swami of the ashram, he told me to read the literature. So I bought the literature and I read. That literature was really good.
At this time, what was your frame of mind or your emotional state? I mean, were you worried that you weren't interested in your studies anymore, or?
No, not at all. What I was doing, I did not know. At that time, all of a sudden, this change took place. And then, of course, I went there and bought literature, and I was reading that. I liked the literature, but whom should I contact? That the master should be there. So, but I did not know. And then I received a letter from Rishikesh, from that Swami, that you come here on such and such date. And I said, I must go. But suppose he asked me to stay there permanently in his ashram, so I must go with that preparation. So I must inform my brothers and my mother. My father was not there. So, and make it very clear that I am going for good. So, of course, and then it appeared in newspaper that Meher Baba is coming. I said, Meher Baba? Who is Meher Baba? I don't know anything about him. So I said, I must go and inform them and go to that Swami. So I went to my place. After a week when I returned, it again appeared that Meher Baba is coming. And he was to come on certain date. And after that, again I said, what happened to him? So Meher Baba had been there to some place. He returned to his ashram. And again he went. And that's why it appeared like this. So when I went there, I thought that I must go to him. I was, because just for darshan, just to see him. So I went there, did not know anything about him. But when I saw about 50,000 people were there, big crowd, and I saw him from a distance. His glorious face, glorious, shining, and his smile touched my heart. So I just sat down in a queue. They had made that arrangement to sit in queue and crawl. And when anyone would come, approach him, he would stand up and he would just, sometimes he would give pat to someone, he would smile at someone and give one banana by way of prasad, that is present gift.
So Meher Baba would hand a banana to the people in the crowd as a gift from the master.
Yes. And then he would be pushed away, no time. So when I approached
because there's 50,000 people who all go to greet him.
Yes. So I stood up. He did not look at me. He did not look at me.
You came in front of him?
In front of him.
He didn't even make eye contact?
He was observing silence. So he was using gestures. So he was making gestures this side and he gave me banana this side. He did not look at me.
So he just handed you a banana but without even making eye contact?
No. And I was pushed away. And I became so mad that I ate the whole banana without taking out the skin.
Just ate the banana,
yes,
skin and all?
Everything.
Because you were angry?
No, not angry. I don't know why I was doing that. I just ate everything, should not throw in.
It's almost as if you were in a different mental state.
Yes. And then I felt, oh, I must join him. I must join him. But there was no interview and nobody helped me. No one helped me. I asked different persons. They said, no, interview is not possible. But anyway, it is a long story. But then again, the next day I went to him and he did not look at me. Third day, it was in my brother-in-law's place. First he went there. And then third day, of course, he went to Nagpur, where I was studying. And again the big crowd. Big crowd, so fortunately I contacted one person. He was a leper.
A leper?
And he was the only leper who was cured by Baba. So he said, yes, what do you want? I said, I want to join him. So he told Baba. And then of course Baba said, all right, ask him to come and see me at 4 p.m. But he had also other programs, so immediately he should come exactly at 4 o'clock. So he told me, and I went to that place where he was residing. So all the people, they had left, those who were with Baba, Meher Baba, so they left. And he was just waiting for me. Some 3-4 persons were there. And Baba says, don't bow down to me, don't salute me, just sit down. And he said, what do you want? I said, I want to join you, to be with you. He said, will you obey my orders? I did not know what were the orders. And I said, yes. So there was one person from Nagpur. He said, Baba, he must know what are the orders. And Baba says, he knows better than what you do. So he kept quiet and he asked me, if I ask you to take out your clothes, become naked and go for begging in this locality, will you be able to do it? I said, yes. He said, begin. So I stood up and taken out the clothes and Baba said, sit down. And then he asked me, what are you doing at present? So I said that I am in final years, master's degrees. He said, will you obey me 100%? I said, yes. Whatever I say, will you obey? I said, yes. Appear for the examination. Appear for the examination and then join me wherever I am at that time.
So go complete your schooling at the university and then join him.
Yeah. So only 2 months were there for examination, and the day my examinations were over, I joined him.
Now, here in the West, where people aren't really familiar with the concept of a perfect master, could you talk a little about what a perfect master is and how Meher Baba is different from?
Yes, a perfect one who becomes one with God. Anyone becomes one with God, and when he comes down to creation consciousness, so he is called perfect master, and he works for the universe. But the avatar, the Christ, is the one direct descent of God. So he is the one who is always in charge of the creation. I tell you, it is not through reading or this. It was just he makes room in the heart, and that's why I just felt that I must join him.
So it wasn't an intellectual decision.
Nothing. He just makes the room in the heart. And that is the gift he gives. Now he is not in body. He expired. He just dropped his body in 1969. But he is very eternally active. Very active. He is just making room in the hearts of the people, and that's why after he has dropped his body, so many people, every day more and more people are coming to him.
Now, Baba said that he was God in human form and that he was the Ancient One come again. And he said that he was the same as Jesus, Rama, Zoroaster, Krishna, Buddha, Muhammad. And now he had God consciousness. What about the rest of us? Where do we stand in terms of God? Should we be?
God is one. God is infinite, and God is eternal, and God is indivisible. So, and God exists. Nothing exists besides God. Only God exists. So why there are so many persons? So soul is one in everyone. Soul is not two. One soul in everyone. But this limited mind, it is separate, different. And that's why we see manyness. And why we have come in creation, in experience to experience the reality. This is the aim of life, to experience the reality, but this mind, limited mind, it creates illusion.
So our goal in life is to try to realize God.
Yes.
And so everything that we see is God.
Is God. And
what does Meher Baba do to help us to realize that goal? What kind of work?
That work is internal work. What happens? We collect impressions, sanskaras, and because of this, Meher Baba has described in a very clear words that there was nothing, there was no beginning. So God was in beyond state and complete silence state, and there was nothing, only God. But then of course he got the whim. Who am I? And because of this whim, the creation came forth.
So God asked. So God asked the question, "Who am I?"
Yes.
And from that question, all of creation, all that we know and see, and even
God
that we can't
is
see, sprang
indivisible.
forth.
God is indivisible, so that Him, who am I, is in everyone. So everyone and everything.
But there are a lot of people who have no interest in God.
The interest, but the whim is there. Today they have no interest, tomorrow the interest will be there. Because that whim works in everyone. And that's why creation takes place: gas, stone, vegetable, worm, fish, bird, animal and human being. And in human being you find that mind is fully developed and energy is fully developed. And we have got full gross consciousness. But we have to God in God, everything is there.
And Meher Baba, part of his philosophy involves reincarnation. What is the purpose of reincarnation?
There is no reincarnation in fact. In truth, there is no reincarnation. Actually, what happens, I told you, that soul is one in everyone. Soul does not take birth, soul does not die. Soul is eternal. But this limited mind is there. So this limited mind, it takes birth, but it does not die. It takes a long time for this mind to die. It has a long chain, and the chain has got different links. So one link, when it is broken, then it is the death. But then death, but the long chain is there. So again you take birth. Because the mind is there, mind does not die. And mind is the store of impressions, sanskaras. Unless you wipe out all the impressions, you cannot become one with God. And when you become one with God, then of course you know who you are. Only you exist then. Then of course there is no question of birth and death. Nothing. So this is just in illusion. This is just in a dream. Birth and deaths are in dream. So in birth, in dream we take birth, in dream we die. But now mind remains there. When mind dies, that is real death. Mm-hmm. Then of course you experience the divinity.
So it's a matter of overcoming the mind, which gives us a limited perception of reality.
Yes.
Now, in the past, as we said, Jesus has come, and Buddha and Krishna and all of these God-men, God in human form. Why does Meher Baba need to come again? Is he doing different work than these?
It is really a very good question. What happens? The ancient one, the same ancient one, he comes age after age. Now you just see the Bible. The Quran is there, Vedas are there. The Zoroastrian Avastha is there. The words of truth are there. But if we read Bible and Quran and Vedas, you will not be free from impressions. So in order to become free from impressions, of course some guidance is required. So he is the one who comes down, and then he gradually wipes out those impressions.
And the impressions are the impressions are what gives us a limited picture of the world.
Yes,
so
just like now thoughts. How do you get the thoughts? The impressions are there in the mind, so you get thoughts, you get desires because of that.
And because my impressions are different from someone else's impressions, that's why I think that I'm separate from them.
Of course, because of my impressions, everyone, what is this body? This body is nothing but the mold of past impressions. So this is the mold. So everyone has got different face. Why? Because mold is separate, the impressions are separate. So each one needs different remedy to wipe out the impressions. And therefore it is very difficult. Nobody can, even if you do meditation, concentration or penances, austerities, it is very difficult to get rid of impressions. And that's why he comes, and his work is just to clean. He is a first class sweeper, matchless sweeper. And that's why his work no one can understand. His work creates awareness. How people are coming to him They read about him and that's why they come? No. Because he is working internally to wiping out the impression. And Meher Baba has said that one day, of course, that the whole world will come at his feet at the time of his universal manifestation.
Now, is it a result of people's impressions that one person follows a Christian path and another person follows a Muslim path? And why is it that everyone always insists that their path is the one true way to get to God?
This is all illusion. Really speaking, when any religion is created, it is just like a river to meet the ocean. But when the river is dry, how can you flow towards the ocean? So the time has come when all religions are dry. So what they need flood. All the rivers should be flooded. So Meher Baba's mission is to flood the river, not to destroy the religion, but because there is nothing, only outer things are there.
So Meher Baba doesn't ask people to leave their religions behind?
No, there is nothing. He says love God, and that is the best thing. Love God, then that is the essence, that is the substance.
And how do we do that?
Only it requires, he says, just remember me. And now I just give you example that in the beginning, Meher Baba's ashram, it is called Meherabad. So people were there of different religions, and Baba was taking interest in Hindus, and Hindus had so many religions. So Baba says, yes, observe all the religions, and when anything just like Krishna's birthday, then big show, they would decorate the thing and singing and dancing and everything. So there were Christians, there were Muslims, there were Zoroastrians. They were thinking that Meher Baba is taking interest in Hindu's religion and not in our religion. What is that? So one day it was Krishna's birthday, and they decorated, thousands of people came, feeding would also be there, everything. So they said, now we must do something. We must do something that we must draw Baba's attention, that of course our religion should also be followed. So when something is there, just like Christmas should be observed. Muslims, of course, they said yes, it should be done. So the whole day they were decorating, they were just making preparation, Hindus, and they were holding one meeting that how to present their case. And in the morning Baba came, and Baba said, they were sitting there, and Baba said, did you sleep last night? No, Baba. Why? Whether you were making preparation for them, helping them? No. Then why did you not sleep? We were holding the meeting. Meeting? What meeting? That you just, Hindus of course they observe their religious things, and of course we have no opportunity to observe our religions. Baba says, good that you said this and you held the meeting. All these years I was just thinking that these Hindus, they wanted ceremonies and rituals. So I was giving them ceremony and ritual. And I was thinking that you want God. So I wanted to give you God. But now you also want rituals and ceremonies. All right, you observe. So the result, they said, no, we don't want. Hindu said, we also don't want now. No more rituals and ceremonies. So it is this.
So the important thing, we're almost out of time here, but the important thing is to love God.
To love God.
And the rituals and ceremonies are fine if they bring you closer to God, but if they, in themselves, they're not important.
When it is out of love, then of course it has meaning. Otherwise it becomes mechanical. It has no meaning.
Well, we're just about out of time for this program, and thank you for joining us.
I'm very happy to be here. Yes.
Very good. I think that about does it for this Meher Baba program. I'm Jeff Mcguire, and thank you for joining us, and thanks to our special guest, Bhau Kalchuri.
'86, and we went till 2009 when public access studios closed because of the at FiOS, AT&T started getting their cables situation. Cable public access was part of a contractual agreement with a region like Charter or Century. They had to provide a public access studio for the people that had cable in that area. It was like a community service. So we were able to do these shows. They were free. The only thing I had to pay for was the tapes.
You don't have to rent the studio time?
No, you don't have to rent the studio time at all. And our first show we did in 1986 with Adele Wolkin was interviewed. Steve Berry was my co-host. We had a lot of hosts, Greg Butler and so forth. But Bhauji, in his last trip to LA, we were seeing him off at his flight was like at 7:30 in the morning. So we were there at like 6:30. And we were, there's heavy security at the airport now. People that are sending somebody off cannot go into the terminal. You have to say goodbye to them as they go up the escalator and they go through security and so forth. So, there was maybe 30 of us around him, sitting in the open, terminal area where the ticket counters are to the right and he's ready to go up the stairs. LAX is big, this is departure terminal, or was it, I think it was the flight going up to Fresno, and then he was going to be up there or leave from San Francisco or something. And so I was just saying goodbye to him, then suddenly he turns to me, "Sing your song." And I go, I was thinking, Bhauji, there's policemen and there's these TSA security people close by. So I said, "Okay, Bhauji. Now mind you always want to crawl, work so fast while the heart works slow. Baba says that mind must go, so we sing Madonach Calypso. And the tune go, mind, stupid mind, why don't you go away and leave me behind? Mind, why don't you let me be, so I can find reality? Now mind just loves duality, tells me God is illusory. Mind, you are my enemy, you just want me to want me. Mind, who do you think you are? You make one sneer seem all so far. Wait till I get you to the doctor! We'll fix you with the avatar. Mind, stupid mind, why don't you go away and leave me behind? Mind, why don't you let me be, so I can find reality? Now, mind, you're such a pesky creature. Sometimes you're just too hard to feature. First you're a beggar, and then a preacher. And now you even want to be a spiritual teacher. Oh my mind, I've known you all so long. Send you back where you belong. Everything you do comes out wrong. So let us sing the chorus of this song. Mind, stupid mind, why don't you go away and leave me behind? Mind, why don't you let me be, so I can find reality? Now mind, have you ever heard of Haya? That's a Sufi term for modesty. Oh no, you're just too full of Maya, burning like a forest fire, all along with desire. Mind, you think you're in the driver's seat? Think you're something that can't be beat? Remind me of a parakeet. All day long go, tweet, tweet, tweet. Mind, stupid mind, why don't you go away and leave me behind? Mind, why don't you let me be, so I can find reality? Jai Baba. So, I sang this song just like this. TSA security come, because it's sort of similar to Allah Akbar. It sounds like something. No, it sounds like maybe an Arab or a Palestinian or whatever crying, ah! And then Jeff Mcguire is there. And Jeff intercedes, he says, excuse me, he says, we keep him under control. He has something to give. I swear, Jeff said that. He said, we have to keep him, he's a little over, And so the guys said, oh, okay. But they were scared. Yeah. They said, what is this? Because they see Bhauji, I guess, I don't know if he had a look of Indian, or whatever. But the idea of it was a scary moment, but it turned out to be quite a time. Yeah. In fact, somebody posted on Facebook, I think it was some lady in the Bay Area was down here, and she said, thank goodness for Jeff Mcguire being there to basically say that our little Freddie boy had a little issue with his mind, and he needed therapy. But anyway,
what was Bhauji's response? Was he happy?
Bhauji was, I love it. Bhauji was beaming. He was happy. And he knew what was going on. Bao saw the security guys, and Bao just was looking, you know, like a child, you know. But I swear, before I started singing, I had this lump in my stomach saying, this is a bad place, because your voice echoes in the terminal. And you're singing full blast, early in the morning, and you know, nobody, who does that yell at the airport? If you saw somebody yelling, you'd go, hey, what's going on? You know, so anyway, check out.
If this happens right now, you will get away with it. With everything crazy happening right now.
I don't know. I'd be scared of anything to say anything now.
Well, I think that's a good note to wrap up. So if you're all okay, we're going to say beloved up here. Did someone else have something to share?
She's gonna play for us.
I had a song for
You want a
Bhauji.
song you want to sing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, with your dad, no?
Yeah.
So this will be the last thing, you guys. This one's the last. Well, thank you everyone for sharing and participating. It's okay, we're going to wrap up with a beloved God prayer.
Yes.
Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's dharma to the very end.